Oh yeah, what's up everybody? Jermaine here, and today is going to be a great day. Listen, I want to have a quick conversation with you about some thoughts that I have on a Facebook post that I made. I asked if anybody knew of somebody or they themselves experienced actual symptoms from the time you felt like, my body's not feeling right, to the time you are recovering to where you can get out and about. What was that length of time? The response was absolutely amazing. Everybody had a different time frame. Everybody experienced different symptoms. This was so interesting to me. The amount of variety for this virus and its effects was fascinating. Now, I never asked who was healthy and who was not, or if you had pre-existing conditions. That's none of my business. It's none of your business. It's none of anyone's business except that individual person. And so, um, it the responses I got lent itself more often than not to my overall thoughts with this virus at this stage. In the beginning, nobody knew anything, but we have so much information and data now that we are not allowed to have uninformed people anymore. Okay? We're not allowed to do. You can't have it anymore. Everybody needs to be informed because you have information. So, it's just very interesting that all the terminologies that I'm seeing in the media, whether it's a social media platform or whether it's their broadcast, is fear based. Fear based. I am not sure that the CDC is calling it a pandemic anymore. Pandemic is a major term and it strikes fear. Outbreak. I think the term outbreak for the CDC is not even like 10,000 people in a city. It's like a few people in a city. It's called an outbreak if they test positive. Not even if they have symptoms, I don't think. And so my concern is that the terms are being used to strike fear. And here's the thing. What the deal about fear is it causes people to fight or flight, but it makes people sometimes turn inward and you just start accepting people's opinions or these mandates because you're like, oh my gosh, well, I can't die. We need, and that's the problem. Fear is a paralyzing weapon that if we're not careful, it can stop us from being rational and thinking through things. So here's my thoughts on this. One, I do not appreciate the media having the running tab of worldwide outbreaks and deaths and not talking about the recovery rate. 156 plus thousand people in America have died, several more than that, obviously, around the world. But they're running this ticker as if you catch this virus, you are going to die. Therefore, all of these mandates and put in place and stop and like shelter in place and shutting down the economy and shutting down your communities is absolutely necessary. Shut down the schools, shut down the churches. Don't go outside. I'm not appreciating that at all because it is not accurate information in this regard. It is based on fear. It is based on fear. More accurate information would be to the tune of there's 156,000 people that have died, and we mourn the loss of those people, and for their families, we pray for them. But 99% of the people who have caught the virus and are symptomatic will recover. 99. You know what that does? That allows you not to freak out, but it allows you to say something to the effect of, how can I do my part as an individual for my family to get better, to be healthy? We see that there are a lot of people, many of the people who died are dying from pre-existing conditions. I saw a report where people who've died from the flu this year in America is like under 10,000. But every year it's like 30,000 and 80,000, and it just varies at a high number. Less than 10,000? What happened? Like, did the flu just not? No, you and I both know that they are labeling every death, and Dr. Burke said this in a press conference before, they label every death as COVID. No, people die from underlying conditions that the COVID virus may have triggered. Okay? And I don't think it's fair to report it as COVID because then you make your numbers go higher. I heard that people who didn't go, who were getting tests or were standing in line and turned around, but they signed up, they get a mailing that says you're tested positive, but they've never gotten a test. I heard that the tests are sometimes inaccurate. There's so many things that are going. The numbers shouldn't be reported the way they are. The media shouldn't be reporting the way that where they do it. And I'm telling you, I don't believe there's some kind of conspiracy and all that stuff. But I will tell you, the result of what they are doing is to instill fear. That makes it so easy for mayors and governors to be influenced by whomever to say, "Hey, we are going to have this mandate. Make it mandatory. And if you're going to go in the community, you got to wear a mask." Why? Well, because I signed it into a decree and I had my crier, hear ye. In the interest of public safety and bending the curve, we are going to mandate that you wear a mask everywhere. We're going to mandate that you stay home. We're going to mandate that your church doesn't open. We're going to mandate no more than 10 people. No, man, come on. You know how I feel about the mandates, and if you don't have an understanding of this is your first time watching this, you need to look in the description below. You're going to see my blog, and you're going to see my post on mandates. Click on it, like it, share it with friends. Mandates are not, it's not illegal where the legislature got together to vote. Nobody had a voice in it. It is literally an arbitrary blanket statement that a governor or mayor just signs and takes away your rights. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. Not in a free society. This is a constitutional republic here in the United States. You just can't arbitrarily write away people's rights. Okay? I don't care what you put it in the name of, because that's the problem. We're changing these names to suit and justify why they're able to do something. So I have a thought for you. If you know somebody that is all about these masks and all about the mandates and supporting and cheering them on, and yeah, take away the rights, close down the schools, shut down the businesses, shut down the churches, I want you to do something. If you're inclined to have a conversation with somebody being irrational, I looked at something, and this is really interesting. Do you know that around the world, about 7 to 8 million people die from tobacco use? Do you think that's a pandemic? Do you think that's worse than a pandemic? Absolutely is. Ask your friend, hey, so tobacco use, people die around the world, 7 to 8 million. Should a governor or mayor ban and mandate that cigarette and tobacco products stop being sold on shelves and shut down their economy and shut down churches and shut down schools because of not cigarettes, tobacco use? You know what they're going to do? They're going to roll their eyes. They're going to roll their eyes. Here's another question to ask them. Say, no, okay, no, not ban cigarettes. Mandate that people who use tobacco products wear a patch, get the gum to curb their nicotine cravings so that we can get and curve and bend the curve on deaths from tobacco use. Ask them if they think that is okay for governors to do. And if they say, yeah, it's okay, then ask them, have you petitioned the governor or the mayor to sign an executive order stating that from now on, anyone who uses tobacco needs the patch, or mandate that businesses stop selling tobacco products? You know they're going to tell you you're out of your mind. You know why? Because they know full well a mayor and a governor cannot just arbitrarily sign an executive order to stop people from doing and choosing their own behavior, right? You cannot mandate how people behave. You cannot mandate people stop smoking cigarettes. It may be a bad habit. It may cause a lot of deaths in that regard, but you cannot mandate it. You'd have to go through the legislature and come up with laws, and it will be voted on, and then that's how it works. Governors do not and mayors do not stand up and just arbitrarily write things and take away rights. Check this out. In the 20th century, over 100 million people have died from tobacco use. Over 100 million. You think the COVID virus is anywhere near that? Or will ever be anywhere near that? 100 million people, that's more than nations. That's more than nations have in terms of population. Not one single mandate that I know of, in the United States at least. Not from a mayor, not from a governor. No schools shut down, no churches shut down, no businesses shut down for selling it. No police enforcing, going around with scissors cutting off tobacco or using gloves to take out the stuff that people chew. Nobody does it. But yet, that tobacco use kills so many people. Governments cannot mandate and take away individual rights. So tell them with the mask, stop. 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 Open up the churches. Open up. Listen, get rid of all the restrictions with this as it relates to this COVID. There's enough information out there for you and I to make an informed, healthy decision. If you're not in the best health, work on getting healthy. If you are in a church, make sure your church can open. If you have a business, Make sure your mayor understands this is your livelihood. They want to now, I've noticed this last thing. When it comes to schools, no one is talking about the effects of kids not being in school. No one is talking about it that I see. It just seems that the schools just need to be shut down. Why? Well, to stop the spread. Well, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask if you believe they help. If you want to go to school, you should be allowed to go to school. All right? Schools and directors and all of these people that are part of the school board, they have enough sense to make informed decisions that is best for their community on how people can stay safe. But you cannot mandate certain things to control people's behavior. That it doesn't work that way. Now I see these associations that are in charge of the sports blanket just canceling sports. Why? Why? You mean to tell me every person that's a part of a sport doesn't know how to protect themselves? Seriously, it's not fair. Some kids don't like school. Sports is a way, and for good reason, by the way, but sports allows kids to have an incentive and motivation to be in school to get an education. They don't like school, and you take away their sports? What about depression? What about suicide? Why ain't no one talking about those effects? No one is talking about those effects at all. And that's my problem. Yet they want to mandate everything without thinking. Here's a mandate for the governors and mayors to consider. Why don't you mandate everybody doing their best to stay safe and healthy? Mandate that they get outside and exercise and focus on nutrition, lower their cholesterol, lower their obesity. Why don't you mandate that instead of mandating things that restrict individual rights? The mandates are wrong. Your schools need to open. Your governor and your mayor needs to get a grip and rescind all of these dumb, ridiculous mandates for the name that they're labeling when they are not even enforcing it for other things that are killing more people. Give me a break. Listen, if you're in the light, you need to speak up. Because if you don't speak up, darkness will overcome that situation. Fear will set in and you'll be losing your mind. We don't need to do that. So speak up. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. There's ways in the description that you can support this channel. Share this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Subscribe today, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.